are some questions that break your heart, even when they're asked innocently. My name is Jordan Ellis. I'm 29 years old, living in Asheville, North Carolina, and I've been in love with my best friend Maya Chen for 7 years. She doesn't know. She's never known. Maya and I met in college, became roommates, then stayed roommates after graduation because neither of us wanted to live alone. We share an apartment, share coffee in the mornings, share everything except the one truth I've never been brave enough to speak. Tonight, Maya came into my room wearing a dress I'd never seen before, deep green, the kind that made her eyes look impossibly bright. She was nervous, fidgeting with her hair, and when she asked me that question, my world stopped. Do I look good? I have a date tonight. I should have said yes. Should have told her she looked beautiful, wished her luck, been the supportive friend I'd always been. Instead, something inside me broke, and I said the only honest thing I could. Why don't you see? Stay with me until the end of this story. Maya looked confused. What do you mean? I stood up from my desk, my heart racing, knowing I was about to either ruin everything or finally tell the truth. I mean, why are you asking me? You've gotten ready for dates before without needing my approval. Because you're my best friend. Your opinion matters. She turned back to the mirror, adjusting the dress. I want to make a good impression. Rachel seems really nice. Rachel, the woman from Maya's yoga class, the one she'd been texting for 2 weeks, smiling at her phone in a way that made my chest ache. You look beautiful, I said, because it was true. You always do. She smiled at me in the mirror's reflection, and I saw everything I'd loved for 7 years, the way her nose crinkled when she was happy, the way her hair fell across her shoulder, the way she trusted me with every part of her life except the one that mattered most. Are you okay? She asked, turning to face me. You seem off. I'm fine. Jordan. She knew me too well. What's wrong? I could have lied. Could have blamed it on work stress or exhaustion or any of the 100 excuses I'd used over the years to hide what I really felt. But something about tonight, about her in that green dress, about to go fall in love with someone who wasn't me, made lying impossible. How long have we known each other? I asked. 7 years, since sophomore year of college. She sat on my bed, concerned now. Why? And in 7 years, have you ever wondered why I've never seriously dated anyone? Maya was quiet for a moment. I just thought you were focused on your career. You're building your graphic design business. You're busy. I haven't dated because I've been in love with you. The words hung in the air between us, impossible to take back. Maya's eyes widened. Her mouth opened, but no sound came out. I'm sorry, I said quickly. I know this isn't fair. I know you're about to go on a date and I'm being selfish, but I can't. My voice broke. I can't watch you leave for another date and pretend I'm fine. I can't keep being the friend who helps you get ready to fall in love with someone else. Jordan, you asked if you look good. You look incredible. You always look incredible. And it kills me that you don't see yourself the way I see you. I was crying now, years of silence finally breaking. So yes, Maya, you look beautiful. And whoever Rachel is, she's the luckiest person in the world. Because she gets to take you out tonight while I sit here pretending my heart isn't breaking." The silence that followed felt eternal. Maya stood slowly, her expression unreadable. "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because you're straight. Because I didn't want to ruin our friendship. Because I'd rather have you in my life as a friend than lose you completely." "You think I'm straight?" Something in her voice made me look up. "What?" I managed. Maya walked to the door and closed it, even though we were alone in the apartment. When she turned back, her eyes were wet. "You think I'm straight?" she repeated. "After 7 years of living together, of being closer to you than anyone else in my life, you think I'm straight? You've dated men. You've only ever talked about men. Because I thought you were straight." Maya's voice rose. "Because every time I brought up LGBTQ topics, you'd change the subject. Because you never once indicated you were interested in women, so I convinced myself my feelings were one-sided and tried to move on." My mind was reeling. "Your feelings?" She laughed, but it sounded like crying. "Jordan, I've been in love with you since junior year. Since that night we stayed up until 4 a.m. talking about our dreams. And you told me about growing up afraid to be yourself. And I realized I'd never met anyone I felt safer with." "But you dated. I tried to get over you. I went out with men, with women, trying to find someone who made me feel even a fraction of what you do." She sat back down on my bed, her hands shaking. "But no one ever measured up. Not even close." "Then why did you ask about tonight's date?" "Because I made that date 3 weeks ago, before I'd accepted that I was never going to get over you. I was going to cancel, but then I thought maybe if I forced myself to go, maybe if I tried one more time." She stopped, looking at me with eyes full of pain and hope. "Then you said that, and everything changed." I sat beside her, our bodies close but not touching, the air between us charged with years of unspoken truth. "I don't understand," I said softly. "If you felt this way, why didn't you say anything?" "For the same reason you didn't. I was afraid. Afraid of losing you. Afraid of ruining what we had. Afraid that loving you would cost me your friendship. So we've spent 7 years in love with each other and too scared to say it?" "Apparently." We both laughed, and it broke some of the tension. "What do we do now?" I asked. Maya looked at the clock. "My date's in an hour." "Are you going? Do you want me to?" It was the most honest question she'd ever asked me, and it deserved an honest answer. "No," I said. "I want you to stay here. I want you to cancel the date. I took a breath. "I want you to be mine, the way I've been yours for 7 years, without you knowing." Maya's hand found mine, her fingers lacing through mine in a way that felt both foreign and perfectly natural. "I need to tell you something," she said. "And I need you to really hear me." "Okay." "I've been afraid for a long time. Afraid of coming out to my parents. Afraid of what it means to be queer in a world that still judges. Afraid of losing the safety of hiding." Her grip on my hand tightened. "But I'm more afraid of losing you, of spending the rest of my life wondering what could have been if I'd just been brave enough." "You don't have to be brave alone," I said. "Not anymore." She leaned her head against my shoulder, And for the first time in 7 years, the gesture meant what I'd always wanted it to mean. "I need to cancel this date," she said. "Yeah, you do." She pulled out her phone, typed a message, and sent it. Then she set the phone aside and turned to face me fully. "So," she said, a nervous smile on her face. "What happens now?" And I realized I had no idea, because I'd spent 7 years imagining this moment, but never believing it would actually happen. We didn't kiss that night. It felt too fast, too overwhelming after years of careful distance. Instead, we talked, really talked, about every moment we'd misread, every signal we'd missed, every time we'd been in love while standing right next to each other. "Remember the night we watched that movie and you fell asleep on my shoulder?" Maya asked. "I wasn't asleep. I just didn't want to move." I knew that. I kept the movie playing for an extra hour because I didn't want you to have a reason to leave. Stories like that poured out of us. Years of almost touching, almost saying, almost being what we both wanted. "Why the green dress?" I asked as the night stretched toward morning. "Because you once said green was your favorite color. I told myself I was wearing it for the date, but honestly, I think I was hoping you'd notice." "I always notice." As dawn broke, we were still on my bed, fully dressed, talking like we'd been given permission to finally be honest. "I'm scared," Maya admitted as soft light filled the room. "Not of us, but of everything else. My parents don't know I'm queer. My work friends think I only date men. Coming out means changing how I exist in the world." "We can take it slow," I said. "There's no rush." "But I've already wasted 7 years." "We both did. But maybe we needed those years to become people who could handle this." She nodded, but I could see the fear still there. Over the next few weeks, we navigated the strange territory of being more than friends. We held hands in the apartment. We said "I love you" without the "as a friend" qualifier. We fell asleep in the same bed, learning the comfort of waking up beside each other. But outside the apartment, we stayed the same. Best friends, roommates, nothing more. Maya wasn't ready to come out, and I respected that. But it was harder than I'd expected, pretending in public, being real only in private. "I hate this," I said one evening after we'd gone to dinner with friends and spent 2 hours carefully not touching, not looking at each other too long, not being what we actually were. "I know. I'm sorry." "Don't apologize. I want to hold your hand without worrying who's watching. I want to introduce you as my girlfriend, not my roommate." "I want that too." Maya's eyes filled with tears. "But I'm not ready yet. My parents—" "I know. I'm not trying to pressure you." "It feels like pressure." We had our first fight that night. Not a big one, but enough to show us that love didn't automatically solve everything. We still had to figure out how to be together while respecting where we each were. Maya started therapy, working through her fears about coming out. I joined a support group for LGBTQ people in relationships with closeted partners, learning patience I didn't know I'd need. 3 months in, Maya's sister visited. She noticed immediately. "You two are together, aren't you?" she said over breakfast while Maya was in the shower. My heart stopped. "What makes you say that?" "The way you look at her. The way she lights up when you're near." I've never seen her this happy." Maya's sister smiled. "Don't worry, I won't say anything. But Jordan, thank you for loving my sister. She deserves someone who sees her the way you do." When I told Maya later, she cried, partly from fear, partly from relief. If Sarah knows, maybe it's not as hidden as I thought. Does that scare you more or less? Both. The turning point came 6 months after that first confession. Maya's father had a heart attack, not fatal, but serious enough to land him in the hospital for a week. I drove Maya to Seattle, sat with her in waiting rooms, held her while she cried. Her family saw me there, saw how I showed up without question, and I think they started to understand something Maya hadn't told them yet. On the third night, sitting in the hospital cafeteria at 2 a.m., Maya's mother sat across from us. "Jordan, can I talk to you?" Maya tensed, but her mother's face was soft. "I want to thank you for being here," her mother said, "for taking care of my daughter. Of course. I love her." The words came out before I could stop them. Simple. True. Undeniable. Maya's mother looked at me for a long moment. Then she looked at Maya. Then back at me. "I know," she said quietly. "I've known for a while." Maya's hand found mine under the table, gripping tight. "When were you going to tell us?" her mother asked, not unkindly. "I was scared," Maya whispered. "I thought you'd be disappointed." Disappointed? Her mother's eyes filled with tears. "Maya, I'm disappointed you thought you had to hide, that you've been carrying this alone." She reached across the table, taking both our hands. "I don't care who you love. I care that you're loved well. And anyone can see Jordan loves you well." Maya broke down completely. Her mother moved to our side of the table, holding her daughter while she cried years of fear out. "Does Dad know?" Maya asked eventually. "Your father knows everything I know. And when he wakes up tomorrow, he's going to tell you the same thing I'm telling you now. We love you. We love whoever you love. We just want you to be happy." The next morning, Maya's father said exactly that. Weak from surgery but clear-eyed, he welcomed me into their family with a warmth that made me cry in the hospital bathroom. Coming out to her parents changed something in Maya. The fear that had kept her hidden started to dissolve. She told her sister officially, then her friends, then her co-workers. Each time was scary, but each time she found more acceptance than she'd feared. "I wasted so much time being afraid," she said one evening, 6 months after her father's heart attack. We were on our apartment's tiny balcony, watching the Asheville sunset. "You weren't wasting time. You were getting ready." "Are you ever angry? That I made you wait? Made us hide?" "No, because I get it. Coming out isn't just telling people. It's reimagining your whole life." I pulled her closer. "And anyway, I'd wait another 7 years if I had to. You're worth waiting for." She kissed me then, soft and sure, the way she'd been kissing me for months in private, but was only now learning to do without looking over her shoulder. "I want us to move," she said suddenly. "What?" "Not far. Just to a place that's ours. Not the apartment where we were roommates who became something more, but a home we choose together as partners. We found a small house on the outskirts of Asheville. 2 bedrooms, a real kitchen, a porch where we could drink coffee and be ourselves without walls. The day we moved in, Maya's parents helped us carry boxes. Her mother hung a rainbow flag on our porch without asking, smiling like she'd been waiting years to do it. "I like this," Maya said that night, lying in our new bedroom in our new house. "Being us, without hiding." "Me too." "Do you ever think about what would have happened if I'd gone on that date?" "Sometimes. But I think we would have found our way here eventually. Some things are inevitable." She propped herself up on one elbow, looking at me seriously. "Jordan Ellis, will you be my girlfriend? Officially, publicly, permanently?" "I've been your girlfriend for 7 years. I was just waiting for you to notice." She laughed, and the sound filled our new home with joy. We didn't get married right away. We were in no rush. We'd learned that love doesn't have a timeline. But 2 years later, on a perfect autumn day in Asheville, we stood in front of everyone we loved and promised forever. Maya's father walked her down the aisle. Her mother cried happy tears. And when the officiant asked if I took Maya to be my wife, I said yes, without hesitation. Because some questions deserve immediate answers. And some loves are worth 7 years of almost, if it means getting forever of actually. If this story touched something in you, leave a comment below. Have you ever loved someone in silence? Have you ever been brave enough to tell the truth when staying quiet felt safer? Subscribe if stories like this speak to you. Sometimes the hardest person to come out to is the one you love most, and sometimes they've been waiting to hear it all along.